So hello and welcome. My name is Ann Basili. I also go by Ann Magdalena. I am a level 2 QHHT practitioner, and I am just giving a little intro on a session that was done recently. This particular client has come before, and in her original session it was revealed that she was what they call a volunteer. So that's in Dolores Cannon's book, she talks about the 3 waves of volunteers. Well, this particular client is a 3rd waiver. What that means is she has had no previous incarnation on the earth plane. This is the first incarnation. However, she also has not had any incarnation in any other planet or dimension. Her existence has always been with Source and working alongside Source. Her role was as a galactic observer and protector, like a watcher, and her work has always been that. So coming to Earth for the first time, she came in to help heal the planet and raise the consciousness of humanity. That is what these particular beings have come and contracted to come in for. It's not to say that they came with excitement, because they did originally, but many of them suffered when they came here because it's so dense and heavy and hostile, and it can be very confronting. However, for my client, she has hit the ground running from a very young age and has been actively involved in her mission, and I'm pretty proud of her. So anyway, let me share this next session with you. This was just a very impromptu session that we decided to do together. It was just, we put together a lot of questions that we thought might be of interest for the public, not so much for ourselves. We're pretty content with where we are in our lives, and in amongst the chaos, we just continue doing the work that we do. So the information that came through was in many ways very different and very conflicting from some of the information that is circulating around at the moment. Some people may say it doesn't resonate, or they'd like to maybe say it's fake or false. Well, what I say to you is I believe this is the next level of information that needed to come through, and the timing was right for it to come through now. And remember, we are always being asked to open and expand our awareness and our consciousness, and it's part of our growth to continually be challenged and have our belief systems sort of unraveled. That's part of it. So please come and listen with an open heart and an open mind. And remember, this is not my personal information. This is not my client's personal information. This is not created from us. This came through her to share. And it was fascinating. We had fun, and you will also hear me struggle a little bit with some of the information that I found challenging, but it's okay, because I feel that I am a student in the universal world, and that the beings are like a teacher or a parent, giving you as much as they can with much love and kindness so that you can expand your knowledge, especially when you are open. They know this, and they come to assist you to learn and grow. That's what we want to do. So I hope that you enjoy the session as much as I did, and find it as fascinating. Some of it is personal bits and pieces, but again, we have chosen the parts that can be beneficial to everybody. Now, if you'd like to follow me on Facebook, it's Orion Metaphysical. If you'd like to go to my webpage, it's orionmetaphysical.com.au. If you'd like to know more about QHHT, it's Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique, you can check that out on my website, or you can go to qhhtofficial.com, which is the official site, and hear about Dolores Cannon and her wonderful work. Okay, so thank you and enjoy.
There's more clouds.
Are you still floating down? Are you in the clouds? Can you describe the clouds for me? What kind of clouds are they? What colour are they? small clouds? Big clouds?
It seems if I'm not on them, but I am.
You are in the clouds?
It's like I'm on them.
Mm-hmm. And how does it feel being there?
Good.
And you said there's pink. The clouds of themselves pink?
It's like a pearl. It's like a hard to describe.
Mm-hmm. So it has like a shimmer of the pinks coming
Like
through
a
the white?
shade, colour, different colours.
And when you look around, you just see clouds, or is there something else that you can see as you look around?
My holographic castle.
Is your holographic castle there amongst the clouds?
It's my home.
Is it nice to see your home? Can you describe your home for me? What does she look like?
Like glass with a shimmer, like a rainbow shimmer.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't see through it. And yet you can.
And where is it situated? Is it sitting somewhere or on something?
In the clouds.
She's in the clouds. And is it a big place or a little place? Your home.
It's hard to define the size.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Size isn't really relative.
And how do you go inside your castle or your holographic home?
I just think my way in.
And so can you do that? Are you able to do that now? And did you just think yourself in? Are you inside? Tell me what you can see. Where are you and what can you see inside?
I'm in a massive library.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a big round table in the middle.
Mm-hmm. And when you say it's a big massive library, you mean like books on shelves?
Yeah, like records.
Mm-hmm. What kind of records?
Akashic records.
Oh, so you have the Akashic records in your home?
I'm not sure if it's my home.
But you're in there, in the library? And why do you think you're going to the library?
Information.
Okay, so you can go there to get information. So what kind of information are you going there for today? What are you looking for today?
It's worldly information.
Mm-hmm. Is it?
And galaxy information.
So you're trying to find information about the galaxies and the world? And this is where you go into the library? And so how do you access the information? Tell me what you do when you go in there. How do you access the information?
I just think it and it comes to me.
So the record comes to you? Or the information just comes to
The
you?
information comes.
Mm-hmm. And you said there was a table. Do you need to be at the table to access it? So you sit at the table?
And just stand there. There's no seat.
Mm-hmm.
And you place your hands on top of the tabletop.
So you place both your hands on the tabletop with the palms up, and then you ask. Is there any particular way that you ask for information, or just any way?
It's like you don't speak the words. It's in your. It's like a knowing energy, and the information appears in you.
So actually, so it's not like a record comes down onto the table. The information kind of comes to you.
It's like telepathic. You don't read anything. You just ask and it comes.
Okay. So
it's part of you.
So then you integrate that, is that what you're saying? Integrate the information? Wow, that's pretty special. And so today you've gone there to access the worldly information about the galaxies. Is there anything specifically that you can tell me about that today?
I'm here because Yasmin and Ann need some answers.
So you've gone there on our behalf? Okay. Is there anything else that you want to tell us about this special place that you're in right now? Can anyone go there? No. So who's allowed to go there to access the information?
And you select beings that have been given permission.
So you're one of those select beings? Okay. And do you go there often?
It depends.
What does it depend on?
Things that need knowing.
Okay, so only if there are things needing knowing? And so do you go there maybe when Yasmin wants to ask questions? Is she able to access this at any time through you? Does she do this? No.
She didn't know.
Oh, so this is something that she can know about?
Yeah.
So what's the best way for her to access that information directly through you?
Just through meditation.
Through meditation? Any particular kind of meditation?
Like this.
Just in gentle rest, like a resting state? And she can do this by herself?
She sometimes accesses this place when she's asleep.
But she can do this consciously? And what would be the best way when she's resting to ask? Does she need to connect with somebody, or does she need to know anybody? So she can just ask to go there?
If she knows, she can go there.
Okay.
She just needed to know that that was available.
And so she's one of those beings that are allowed to access the information there. And you said something about the hands on the does she need to do that as well when she asks, or no?
Yes, that's best.
Okay, so best to have her hands with the palms up, and then she can just go into meditation. Is that how it works? And then, okay, and then she can ask. Okay, thank you. I'm just putting that on the record that there's a lot of nodding going on for confirmation. So now that you're in there and you're accessing the information, so today specifically, you are there for us to ask questions?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a name that we can call you? Or is there anything that we need to connect to you by? So we know who we're asking?
Satira.
Satira? And does Yasmin know you, Satira? Has she connected with you before? Yes. Okay. Is there any message you'd like to give to us at the moment, Satira, while we're in this state?
We've been waiting for you. Come and access this information.
So you've been waiting for us to come? Are we allowed to ask anything? Is this somewhere that I've been to as well as Yasmin? Okay, so I forgot about it as well. So Satira, am I allowed to speak to you this way? So are you really coming for both of us today to help both of us answer questions? Okay. Before we ask our questions, are you able to give us any more information about the place that you're in right now? You're able to describe it more for us so we can make a beautiful picture of the place? We can imagine it better.
You can imagine it like a giant grand library, like a real library that you would have on Earth. Almost a cathedral filled with what you would think are books but aren't books. It's more like the facade or the creation of how we want it to look. but yet it doesn't need to look in any way.
Okay. And we're allowed to access this just in a meditation state to ask the questions?
Yes.
And that information will just come through to us as we ask it?
If it's necessary.
Okay. If it's not necessary, how would we know?
You won't get anything through.
Okay. So we just get a blank? Okay. And are there any other people or any other beings there with you today?
And just me.
And what's your role there? Do you have a special role there?
Keeper of the records.
Ah, so you're the keeper of the records. So we're talking to somebody pretty special from our point of view.
We all have our role in the galaxy.
And is there a role that Yasmin's playing at the moment in this world, the Earth world, or in the galaxy that you can tell her about?
She's the keeper of knowledge too. And she has access to a lot of the knowledge we have. And yet she can't unlock it all right now.
Is there a reason for that?
It's just not time.
But she has a lot of access and knowledge herself. Okay, so this will come in through bit by bit, will it?
This is why she knows a lot of things without knowing why. Or needing to learn the information's just there for her.
And what about her home, the holographic castle? Is this a place that she can imagine going to? Is there any purpose in that?
If she imagines going in the cloud like you just described, she can reach the Akashic records.
Okay, so she can just do that as a meditation then. Okay, that sounds pretty simple. And then she can just ask whatever she wants.
Yeah, we're giving her the subconscious view now so that she knows what she needs to do.
So you're like giving her a tour?
Yes.
So
we're presenting it in a way that she'll be able to understand later.
That's pretty amazing. And then she can bring that force here into this world. Okay.
Because we have to make it accessible to the human mind.
And why do you have to make it accessible to the human mind now?
Otherwise she wouldn't find it.
Okay, because she won't be able to interpret it?
She wouldn't know she was there if she didn't know how it looked from a human perspective.
Okay. So what kind of images or directions are you giving her? Are we able to get anything on record for her to listen to when she wakes up?
This is why we're showing her the records in a library. Because it's not really a library, but we're showing it in that way so she understands.
Okay, and that will help her access
it. Like a symbol or a map.
Okay. Okay. So is it okay today then if I proceed to asking some questions?
Yes.
Because I'm feeling that we don't need to see any past lives or anything today.
Yasmin only has one.
Okay, so it's not necessary to, we've already done that one. Okay.
It's complete.
Thank you. Okay, well let me start asking some questions for us today, and thank you so much for coming through to help. So I believe, Satira, we are kind of speaking with Yasmin's subconscious, or do we need to bring the subconscious through for her now to ask the questions? Or are we able to speak directly to you?
You can speak directly to me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let us begin. Is there going to be another COVID shutdown in Perth, WA? So we are going through a kind of crisis at the moment on the earth with a virus, and it's been shutting places down. So are we going to experience another shutdown in this country at the moment?
Yes, it will be.
So will that be soon or later? Can you give me some idea?
It's unclear.
Is it necessary for it to happen?
No.
So why is it going to happen?
Because there are multiple agendas that are going on.
Are you able to tell me what those agendas are? Because we don't really know much about it.
The government is using this as a tool for control and as a test for humanity.
And why? What is the test for? What are they testing?
They want to know if they can control the psyche.
Okay. Are they having much success with that?
Yes.
So their plan is working.
Mm.
So what's the best way for us to combat not being controlled, if that's a question to ask? How can we avoid being controlled by this agenda?
You have to keep affirming that you know what's going on.
Okay, so basically just stay with the knowledge that we know that this is an agenda and that this isn't real. Are we to say that it's not really happening or that this virus is happening? Can we ask that, please?
It is happening and it isn't happening.
Mm-hmm.
It is happening because there is an aspect of it that is real,
Mm-hmm.
and it isn't happening in that the way it's being portrayed is false.
Okay.
So there are real elements and there are also false elements.
And the false elements are the shutdowns?
Yes.
So they're not necessary?
No.
So they're putting a lot of energy into the shutdowns and the control, but that's not actually helping?
No.
But the virus itself exists?
Yes.
Is it as dangerous as what they're making it out to be?
It's a small-scale virus that was meant to be more deadly than it is because the human body has adapted so quickly to be able to cope
Mm-hmm.
and expel.
So we're managing that ourselves anyway?
Yes, it's all part of human upgrading and evolution.
Oh, okay. So the COVID thing really was just a virus that we were going to get, but it wasn't meant to be a big deal?
Well, not necessarily meant to get it, but it occurred anyway, and
Mm-hmm.
there's no real risk to humanity by this virus.
Okay. So some people would say that they're experiencing the reality of it being really serious and, you know, the shutdown has to happen.
This is the way the psyche works.
Okay.
It manifests a greater sickness than what is because it is in fear.
Okay. And the governments know this?
Yes.
Can I ask, how did they know this to put this into plan and practice? Who told them that they could do this?
We told them.
So you told them they could control people with the virus?
Not in that way.
How did it happen?
The information was accessed by someone who could access these records. And then the information got in the wrong hands and was used in a way for control.
So can we ask where that information was accessed and by whom? Or what part of the world it was accessed?
In the US.
Okay.
There are people in the government that can access these records, and they utilise those people.
Are they the kind of people that they call the cabal, the dark state or deep state people? No?
No. In every government there are beings that can access more information intergalactically.
And they know this? They're aware of this?
Yes,
That
but
they
it is hidden.
So are they earth beings or other beings that access it?
A mixture of both.
So there are other beings that are here accessing the information on behalf of the earth? And what's their agenda? To control too? No? Well, what is their agenda?
To help humanity and to grow it and evolve it.
So the ones that have come that are not necessarily from earth plane, you mean?
Well, it's the information is the truth and used from a place of goodness.
Mm-hmm.
But the people that receive the information within the government use their own free will to contaminate the information and create an agenda from it.
Okay.
From now on, they will be limited to the access of knowledge because it has been unsafe.
Because it's manipulated in the wrong way, is that what it happens?
Used in the wrong way.
So it was never really meant to be used in the wrong way. So they accessed the information and you allowed it thinking that it was going to be used for the betterment of humanity, but then they used it against the human.
Some of the humans have free will, or all of them do, but some of them have different agendas than others.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. It's a little bit concerning. Is there anything for us to be concerned about with this, if this is the way things are going?
No, we don't believe so.
So what's the best way to move forward and to tell other people? Because obviously we have a lot of people that we like to share information with. Is there something that we can share that we can make people feel better and more confident in moving away from this control?
The biggest piece of information is not to get caught in the psyche of fear.
So not to get caught up in the psyche of fear. So that's probably the best way, is just not get into any of the media that's been put out.
Well, it's easy from your point of view as a human to fear that someone powerful would have information that's not going to help. But there are many beings in the world that are now getting this information and have access to it.
As in the information that's helpful? Okay, so we can all help each other by just keeping each other informed and away from fear? Okay, all right, that's a good thing. Thank you so much for your... Okay, her and I have both experienced some anxiety in the last couple of evenings. We don't feel it's about ourselves that we're anxious, but it's like a really pit of the stomach anxiety, but it happens in the night. Can you tell us what that is about? Is it to do with something else that we're picking up on?
As a collective, we help to purge the earth of her energy, and it goes through the humans to express itself sometimes. So sensitive humans like yourself will internalize some of her energy to then express it out and cleanse it.
So we're helping to transmute that energy from the earth and then cleanse it out. So that's just an anxiety that's about earth stuff.
We don't call it anxiety.
Okay.
Just a sensation.
Okay. It's just a sensation that we're sensing the earth, and then we're helping her purge that.
Not purging, just energy.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Now Yasmin wants to know if she can make contact with the aliens consciously. Is that something she's ready for?
No.
We did think that. Is she connecting with them though, unconsciously or subconsciously?
Yes.
This is less fearful for her?
Yes.
Okay. And is there a reason that she's connecting with them?
Just as she already knows, part of her role here is to also be in the galaxy to protect.
Okay. Now I feel I saw some UFO sightings outside of my home a couple of months ago one evening. Yes. There were 3 of them, yes. 2 close and 1 far. Yes. So they were there. Can you tell me were they coming to see me or pass a message on or something? Or they just happened to be in the same area where I was?
They're constantly moving around your area.
So they've been there before? And did they, because the noise I was woken up by, did they create that noise for me to go outside to see them? Okay.
This is all about preparing you as well for your conscious experience with them.
So you mean that when we make contact in the earth plane? I can't wait. I am excited and nervous. I'm probably nervous more. Will I be okay when I meet them?
It's going to be a while.
Okay.
Because we're preparing you slowly.
Okay.
Conscious mind needs a lot of preparation.
But am I still having access or contact with them through the nights? Because I do feel that they come and have contact with me.
Yes.
Do I go with them?
Yes.
Yes, I do. So they do take me, and
it's not that they take you, it's that you go with them.
Okay. And what do I do when I'm with them?
That's not for me to say.
Okay, so it's not really relevant for me to know right now? Okay. But, okay, I don't feel any fear around that. I sometimes feel that they can be a bit hurried. Is that something that is happening sometimes? They're very rushed?
Well, time is very different in the galaxy. So what feels rushed for a human is slow for an intergalactic being.
Okay. Okay.
Because time's slowed down here.
Uh-huh. So for me, what I experienced the last time was that I felt like they were rushing me back or rushing me, and I felt a little bit overwhelmed.
We only rush you because we have to make contact. And sometimes you aren't available.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you. Okay, so we've covered some of that information. That's wonderful. So what is Trump's real role? I know we're moving into that side of things. We want some information about this collective stuff. So we want to know what his real role is, and is he here to help or to harm?
He is here to help shift humanity.
And how is he doing that?
By becoming a polarization for us to see the truth.
Okay. So a lot of people are kind of revering him and seeing him as the Messiah and that he can do no wrong. Is that kind of how they're meant to be seeing him, or it's very hard at the moment to buy into any of it?
Humans are very good at pedestaling other humans. Because they keep projecting their divinity onto everyone else except themselves. This is just a global projection of one's own godly essence, if you want to call it that.
So it's not really helping or harming by doing that projection?
It just is.
Okay. Okay.
It's like Jesus. He was a man that everyone projected their own inner essence onto.
Okay.
And he was there to tell them that they were the same. Humans have a hard time accepting that that's who they are.
I know. And then they wanted to hurt him because he was telling them something really beautiful. And now we've got someone really who's not very nice, but we want to make him really beautiful.
Because
it's very warped.
The ego is very good at doing things when it's convenient. They will pedestal him when it's convenient, and if something goes wrong, they'll equally blame him.
Okay. Right.
So he may be revered and he also may be blamed.
Okay. And that's the same, that's what Trump is at the moment. So he's here to uncover the bad stuff. Is he helping there to uncover the bad stuff?
Yes.
And how's he doing that? Is he helping eradicate it or just bringing it to the surface?
It's not important information right now.
Okay. So what do we do with that sort of chaotic energy that's happening? Do we buy into it, or is it best to just ignore it and let it happen?
Keep raising your own vibration and helping others raise theirs. That's the best that we can do.
So is there any reason to keep tapped into this whole Trump drama, or can we just sit on the outside and watch it?
You can sit on the outside.
Okay. All right. I mean, it is causing a lot of issues and people are very confused, and I guess we're trying to get some clarity.
Because humans are obsessed with controlling, and in this moment they have none.
Okay.
So the best thing that all humans know they can do is to focus on themselves and being better in themselves and raising their own vibration in themselves and not getting confused by outside forces.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now moving on to another popular issue that seems to be coming up for everybody also. So why are there so many pedophiles out there right now? And what's the purpose of it if there is one? Because this is disturbing a lot of people.
It's not necessary for humanity to learn this lesson through pedophilia. However, they are learning it through it anyway.
What's the lesson that we're meant to be learning?
That even the light casts a deep shadow.
And what's the light casting a deep shadow? I don't understand. Can you be more clear, please?
Humans are being asked to look at the shadow of themselves and of their world, to see what they create, unconsciously and consciously.
So you're saying that this is part of our own creation?
Yes.
This messy, dark stuff?
Yes. And if it's not, it's participating in it anyway.
So how are we participating in it if we're not involved in the action of it?
Because you must all look at your own shadow selves. Because you all have darkness. Because even if you're light, you cast a shadow of your own. So it's learning to integrate your own shadow and bring it to the light.
So this is highlighting that for people?
Yes.
It's a very dark way to do it.
Yes.
Can I then ask, what, with all the children that are being subjected to this abuse, what's their purpose or role in this?
They have agreed to come through at this time.
Are they helping? I guess it's hard for us as humans to understand that they can be abused so terribly as part of their role here.
It's hard for us to answer this question.
Was it a grand plan, or is it something that's just gone terribly out of control?
It's not a plan, and it's also not. This experience is the product of a lot of darkness that has not been brought to light. Over time, it has manifested this way because humans have refused to see themselves and what they keep creating.
How can we help clear this or move it
You
on?
can only do what you are doing.
Just working with people?
Yes, because you are helping them. And then they get to help others and so on.
So the people that are getting angry and putting all this posts out and media attention on it, and
But they need to express that.
okay,
Because It's like when you grow up and you have a nasty parent, but you grow up with them so you don't think they're nasty. And then you grow older and you realise that that parent was nasty, and you feel angry and hurt by that experience because you feel it was not fair. This is what people are going through because they're awakening to the darkness they have refused to see and not understood until now.
Okay.
This is part of their process to feel that hurt and betrayal of themselves.
So is it helping them understand the situation better?
If we cannot be aware of something, we cannot heal it. So we need to know that these things are occurring because otherwise humanity cannot heal what they do not see. So even though it can be hard to see it and frustrating for those that already have transcended that level, there are many humans and many conscious beings that need to see it for their own evolution.
Is there any way that, again, that we can help?
Show up for your evolution. Every human must rise to that occasion. That is how we transcend this.
Okay. Thank you, because it is causing, I know, many and myself, great headaches and heartaches.
But it is good. It is good. You have to feel sad for something that isn't unjust.
I know, but you also feel very powerless to effect change when there's so many that want to support that agenda of harming other humans and children. It's very hard to get your head around that.
Our advice would be to not focus on powerlessness, but focus on asking, what can I do? And doing whatever you feel you can do.
So for me personally, I just continue on helping those I can help, the ones that I can access.
Yes.
I just keep showing up. Is that the same kind of advice you would give to Yasmin as well?
Not everyone has the same role on this planet. Follow your role. It is important. Everyone has their part to play.
Okay, that's really good messages, and I hope to share this so that other people can feel some kind of consolation in what to do and how to do this. Are there any actual people that are affecting change globally when it comes to the old pedophiles and the children? Is there any actual movement that is helping, not just screaming about it and yelling about it, but actually doing something to help?
Yes, there are many organisations being born at this time to help children, and they are being successful in their endeavour.
Okay. And are there any on a global stage that we are aware of at this time, or are they still in their infancy?
Many are in their infancy, but more are happening because others are being inspired by their work and wanting to do the same.
All right.
So it is creating change.
Well, this is good news then.
We hope that more humans would promote those that are doing and affecting that change through their organisations.
Okay, so that's something that we can do, to support and promote that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so back to about the vaccine. So this is about the vaccine, the COVID vaccine. Can you tell us, is there an agenda with this vaccine? And should we be concerned? To do with the virus.
The vaccine is showcasing many things to humanity.
What are they showcasing?
Humans have another choice. It's a fork in the road again for humanity.
Are you saying that the individuals get to choose whether they get vaccinated or not vaccinated, or is it a global societal movement that are going one direction or the other? Can you give me more, please?
It's important that humanity wakes up to their power and ability to effect change. Whether or not they wake up in time is not important. Because at some point they will wake up to what is occurring and will not like it. And so they will be asked to choose again.
Okay, so the vaccine is being presented as like another choice in the direction of humanity. So for those of us, because there's obviously a split between the anti-vaccinators and the vaccinators, and each one is pushing their own agenda. How do we navigate that? Do we just trust our own instincts on which way to go?
There is no need for a vaccine.
Aha.
Humanity has everything it needs to be well.
I agree.
And yet, humanity lives in a psyche of fear and powerlessness. And this is their biggest lesson, is to learn to transcend fear and powerlessness.
And you feel that the vaccine will do this if we go against having the vaccine? Does that help?
I know. It's a choice.
Okay, so some people are pushing the pro-vax, so everyone should get on board and have this vaccine. And others like myself, and I know Yazzie, are really not interested in that agenda or in the whole COVID drama. Just not interested.
That is understandable. And there's no need to fall into the drama or fear with everyone else.
So they'll make their own choices on what works for them?
Unfortunately, everyone has free will. So we cannot decide for them what they should and shouldn't do.
Okay.
We hope that they kind of wake up to what is going on, but we cannot force anyone.
So do you feel that the vaccine is not really a necessary thing to be doing then?
There are some elements of the vaccine that is helpful, but at this time it is not important.
So the ones that are pushing it out of fear are really trying to do this from a control perspective again?
Well, like many things in this world right now, vaccines are a business. They are not for the health of humanity. If they were for the health of humanity, they would be different and readily available for free. Humanity has access to all the knowledge it needs to be well and to be cared for free, and yet humanity has chosen to commoditize what is already available. This is what's funny about humanity, is they forget that it's already available, and yet they want to make it something that's not available so that they can be bought.
I think we're really messed up, if you ask me. I'm sorry, but I do think we get messed up very quickly. And then if you choose not to buy into it, then you almost feel like an outsider.
Because there are contaminants and agendas, and those agendas are being forced through.
Yes, it feels very coercive all the time.
Yes, because it is.
Is Bill Gates got an agenda with putting a microchip in the vaccine?
Yes.
Okay. So
He's a very calculating and smart being.
So this is probably something we don't want to be really allowing,
No.
get involved in.
Pathway to hell is paved with good intentions.
Okay. So the microchip, what would that be used for if it was to occur?
Control.
Okay, and how would they do that?
By tapping into the brainwaves and frequencies of humanity and adjusting the frequencies so that humans cannot raise their vibration higher than a certain amount.
Whoa, okay, that's pretty scary in the sense of giving away that level of control.
But humans are giving it away at their own free will. This is the lesson that humanity is learning. They are creating their own powerlessness, and yet they have more power and control than they realize.
Very good advice, thank you. I hope more people learn that and understand that.
They are learning.
Hopefully before they get themselves into trouble. I think Tony Robbins was buying into the whole thing as well. I know Yazzie said it's a bit strange, but she wanted to ask about this Tony Robbins because he's a bit of a celebrity on the earth plane. And
Many celebrities are being paid for agenda pushing.
Is he being paid as
Yes.
well? Okay. Interesting. So it's time for everyone to look inward.
Again, the lesson is not to pedestal any human and project your own inner essence onto them. Many people are very good at making other people gods when they remember, they forget that they are gods in themselves. Tony Robbins is just like you and I.
But we made him a god.
In some ways, yes.
Not that I do, because I don't believe in pedestaling other people. I love people, but I don't want to pedestal them.
Yes, but many people haven't reached that level of consciousness yet.
And sometimes you want to tell them, and you do tell them, and they think you're an idiot. So I'm sorry I'm
This is
putting
why
that.
we're putting more people in the right consciousness who have love in their intention in places of power right now.
Fantastic. This is
And
what
we also
need.
say to Anne to be more hopeful in this journey. We are not at the end yet, Anne.
Thank you. Yeah, sometimes it can be a bit daunting.
We understand.
Are there others that are helping us from outside the earth to continue?
Yes, many.
And if I need some help and encouragement, can I get that please too?
All you have to do is ask and be available. Because you are so divinely loved, Anne.
Yes, my intention is only to help others to free themselves.
And you're doing a brilliant job.
Thank you.
And we want you to know that you may not see the fruits of your labours immediately with people, but what you begin and set in motion for them is very powerful and will set them on the path that they need to be on for this lifetime. Do not underestimate your point in this journey, and your part to play is still as big as many others.
Thank you. I needed to hear that, I think, today. Because sometimes you do wonder if you make any changes at all with anybody.
You are always making changes for people. It's just not in a way that your human mind expects, and so you forget to see it.
I just keep doing what I'm doing. I feel good.
Good. And the main thing is we want you just to be happy.
Yes, I'm a hell of a lot happier than I've ever been, so thank you. I've done a lot of work to get here. So, yeah. See, or would Satira that we are speaking with like to give us any messages for Yasmin and myself in order to help others? Is there any message that we can part with to offer to others today?
There are so many unseen forces helping at this time, and it is important that you trust in that support. And remember that it's not just you on this earth helping. There are many, and you are also protected and supported by many intergalactic and unseen beings that are here for you at this time.
That's a wonderful message to pass forward. Thank you much. Well, thank you so much, Satira, for sharing your wisdom and being kind enough to be with us today. I know that the information is going to be really valuable and appreciated by Yasmin to listen back over. Is there any other parting message before we go, before I call forth Yasmin?
Keep filling spaces and people with light. Keep remembering that you are here to bring the light.
Thank you. It's a beautiful message.